course of the next 24 hours, I'm going to be hosting a series of sort of, well, we bill them sometimes as fireside chats with industry leaders, and I'm delighted to say that right now I can introduce to you a man who certainly has a hugely important role to play in one of the biggest operators in the hotel industry, not just in this region, but across the world. So please give a very warm welcome to Sébastien Bazin, the Chief Executive Officer of Accor. Sébastien, where are you? Welcome to you, Sébastien. And thank you for joining me. We build this as an insight into a CEO's journey. So I'm going to start with a very basic question. You've been doing this job for 11 years. Are you exhausted yet or not?
Do I look like exhausted?
You don't look half as exhausted as me, but
you're being with Hillary Clinton yesterday.
I was with Hillary Clinton yesterday. It is indeed true. But let's leave that aside. Let's talk about you. You're much more important than her. At least you are right now. So,
yeah.
So 11 years. Would you say, as you assess 11 years at the top at Accor, that you have radically changed the group?
Yes. Is that enough? No.
How have you changed it?
Upside down.
Really?
Yeah. Accor has been terrific for 50 years, but was asleep and probably fading away. So Accor was super strong in Europe, very, very big in eco mid-scale machine, and decided 7 years ago, I guess we need to wake up. We need to be more diversified. We need to be more focused on being a service operator, no longer a real estate investor. We needed to go kind of actually broader in terms of diversity of brands, segmentation, luxury, lifestyle. Decided to go and conquest South America and Asia and China and Middle East and Africa. So we've done 4 transformations. Thank God it's behind me.
I was going to say, did you bring all of these ideas, this resolve to completely change Accor's strategy at the very beginning, or has it evolved over time?
No, it's probably a third of it was planned when I was a board member, and I was a big investor in Accor, part of Colony Capital at the time for 15 years. So I knew Accor from the outside very well. But I realized that, I guess, when you are an investor, you end up being a bit obnoxious because you feel you know everything when you don't. And when you go from being an investor or an analyst to be a doer, it takes much longer. You need to think. You need to have a proper diagnostic. You need to share it. You need to embark people. You need to execute upon it. It takes a long time, and probably twice longer than expected. But that's okay. It's a fabulous journey, fabulous people, wonderful portfolio, and it's one of those industries where you do so much. And Your Excellency, you talked about it. The miracle about tourism and hospitality is what you do for the people. And people don't realize. Put aside the numbers of Accor. Accor is big and doing well, but we do hire every year 120,000 new people every single year. 70% of that 120,000 people never went to university, barely finished high school, never had a job before. And they are in Sri Lanka, they are in Nigeria, they are in Laos. And we embark them, we train them, and they leave after 3 or 4 years. And that's okay, because they have a greater self-esteem, and you do it again and again. And I think that's a miracle about Accor and many of my competitors.
But actually, just on that, it's interesting to me you say most of them leave after 3 or 4 years. Are you also an organization that would encourage some of them, the top talent, amongst these locally hired people who started at the very bottom, to move all the way through the organization?
Trying. Of course, if we can actually keep most of them, I'll be happier. But at the end, slavery has been abolished a long time ago. You're not kidnapped by your own company. So if you feel you want to try something else, just do it. And I've been telling all my people who want to leave Accor, wherever they are in the ranking, if you feel it's the right time, don't worry about Accor.
No, but I guess what I'm driving at is, will there come a day when a multinational corporation like Accor might be run, i.e. the CEO might not be a guy like you, but a guy who started out in Sri Lanka or Algiers or
no
wherever?
Question. It's very likely happening soon. No, seriously. Yeah. And I guess we have some guys, he's actually in the room, so I won't look at him.
Now we're all looking for him.
He's a CEO of one of the largest division of Accor, and he started as a waiter.
No, that's a great story.
And he went up the ranks, and he is very, very good.
Okay, you talked me through 4 pillars of your strategy, and it's quite complex, so let's go through them a little bit in detail. You've diversified the brand. I mean, am I right in thinking you've got about 40 different brands under the Accor umbrella?
47 and counting.
Yeah, isn't that insane?
I started, we had 12. What do you mean insane?
Well, I mean, that's
smart.
It's just too many.
No, it's not too many. With digital today, you can have a portfolio of brands. Make sure they're different from one another. Make sure you have a common channel, which is all.com. And make sure most of them are local, relevant. So you have some brand called Seabull, which is very strong in Australia. I don't need Seabull to exist in Europe, but they're very relevant for the Australian population. So some global brands, some local brands, some of them very much linked to longevity, wellness, some linked to food and beverage.
It also expands the amount of management and bureaucracy that you have within the organization.
No. It's really a question of the customers today have access to information 24/7. Yeah. Whether they have it on Trivago, on Expedia, on Booking, or on all.com, they know those brands exist. The last brand we actually partnered with called Our Habitats, which is a wonderful brand. Do we have enough brands? Yes. Are we going to have more coming, knocking on the doors? For sure. A lot of those brands, when you start with fresh brands with only 12 or 17 sites, they have a problem to scale. They need a big brother. They need a distribution machine. They need a loyalty system. They need a balance sheet. So they knock on the Accor door and they say, can I be part of the family? And they are. And the one thing you have to do, respect them. The minute you want to merge them into the system, they're going to die. They are strong because they're different. They are strong because they have emotion, because they have a soul, because they founder-led. So most of what we've done with Ennismore, I guarantee you, all the founders of 25 Hours and Mama Shelters and Hoxton, those founders, even though they're sold out, they're still there. They still can say no on everything. So, no, I believe we're going to have more brands.
Right, so you love the diversified brands. You say you love the fact that you're no longer really a real estate company, you're an operator and a manager. So how many hotels do you actually own these days?
Not even one. We might own 2 out of almost 6,000.
So you do not want to be an owner?
No, I don't want to be an owner. Again, I'm a person, for me, I have 3 hotels on my own. So there's nothing wrong about being an owner. Thank God, actually, they do make money. The only thing that you have to understand is
your hotels better than Accor hotels?
No, and they're not even part of Accor Hotel because I'm conflicted. So I don't even benefit from the distribution of Accor, which is kind of a trauma. But it's fine. Being an owner it's just you have to measure the cost of $1. You have to understand inflation. You have to understand the risk and the return. It's a balance sheet decision. If you are an operator, it's a profit and loss, it's margin, it's stake, it's distribution. It's so different. And asking the people of Accor to do 2 businesses under the same brand is stupid and foolish. So be focused on what you do best and basically be the best ever operator on behalf of an owner and understand his risk. What I've been telling to everybody, when you open a new hotel, please first listen. Understand how much money is going to be needed, what is the likely returns being expected, and if you can't do it, don't lie. Don't sign. So, and again, I'm coming from private equity, so I understand the risk nature. But Accor is a very good operator and was a very bad investor.
Yeah, I'm getting the feeling you're a no-nonsense sort of guy. So,
first time we're meeting, huh?
Let's talk about your ambition. Do you want Accor to be the global #1 hotel group?
No. I hate anything which is run by skill and narcissism and number one. Seriously, I do say though, America, but I'm going to say something that it's close enough to being narcissistic. America belongs to the Americans. You have 6 groups, they're very good, and they control 90% of the hotel supply in America.
So you're not really interested in America?
China will be controlled by Chinese operators in a matter of 5 to 10 years. Of course they will.
Wow, so you're writing off the 2 most powerful economies in the world.
That's fine, I'm running the rest.
Yeah, but don't forget you're the guy who doesn't really count where you are in the league table. But okay, so it's a really interesting, so you're basically saying, you know what, we're never going to win in America, so let's not bother there. We're really not going to win in China, so we're not going to put much effort in there. So it's really about the rest of the world.
I didn't say we're not going to put effort in China. China is a country in which you must play.
Okay.
But you have to do it probably through a Chinese operator. China will be the largest hospitality market in the world in 5 to 7 years from today. India will be probably the largest hospitality market in the world 20 years from today. So it's so easy to read the world. Just, Stephen, 1 second. It's a blessed industry. It's 12% of the GDP in the world. It's 12% of the jobs in the world. It's been growing 3 to 5% demand per annum the last 30 years. Supply, 1.5 to 2%. So it's been a market with demand exceeding supply 2 times. I can sign here. You're going to have a demand. The next 20 years will no longer be 3 to 5, 5 to 7. Supply will remain 1 to 2. All of a sudden, 3 times demand over supply. Why? Demography, emerging middle classes. Those two inevitably will be in front of you. So it's blessed. Now the question is, it's not why to play, it's how to play and where to play. Because those numbers will be different between Middle East, Malaysia, Indonesia, and of course, Chile.
Yeah. Well, I dare say many people in this room with us too are particularly interested in the Middle East. So talk me through your view of the potential of this region.
One word, fascinating. There's only 3 places in the world with financial capabilities when it comes to tourism and travel. America Inc., Singapore Inc., Middle East Inc. This is where the money is, this is where they have the guts, they have the visions, and they have probably the right network. So now within the Middle East, Dubai has shown the way for the last 25 years. People were afraid 10 years ago that I guess he might fade. Exactly the opposite happened. Dubai is even stronger than it was 10 years ago, and nothing, it's unstoppable. Clearly, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is catching up, and with a leader, with a vision, with a plan, with financial resources, and a great geography.
And are you backing that vision?
We have 25,000 people of Accor in Saudi Arabia, and we are the largest operator in Saudi Arabia. So we do participate. I hate being a spectator. I want to be an actor. So you must play. You just need to be humble. And when it comes to Saudi Arabia, because it is complex, the one thing they also committed, as you said, Your Excellency, they really want 50% of the workers to be Saudi nationals. And I just joined as a board of trustee of they call the World Tourism Academy, which is the largest school when it comes to training. So Saudi Arabia will play a major role. Would it be at the detriment of UAE? I don't think so a minute. Would it be at the detriment of Sharm el-Sheikh? I don't think so a minute.
Really?
There's going to be fueling more people to the destination. You see what's going to be happening next to Alexandria in northern Egypt on the Med. That's going to be another development, also fueling. There's something about the Middle East which is not fascinating, is airports. When you really want to to put a destination on the map, you'd better have the infrastructure. You need an airline carrier. And you need the 5 hours radius from capital cities. And then on top of it, they have the sun, they have the education, they have museums today, they have cultures, they have the warmth and generosity of people. I'm not saying that in front of you, Your Excellency.
But as I said to the minister, and you know, again, we can't avoid the issue right now. It also is a region full of political uncertainty, both short-term, tragically, but probably longer term, there are still issues about, you know, the stability of the region. I mean, we had the minister's view. As an outside major investor, how much do you think about that?
About the Middle East, you mean?
Yeah, about the sense of uncertainty that you perhaps don't have in other markets that you're looking at.
We've been existing for 50 years. Every year we have a tragedy someplace. Every single year. It could be climate kind of actually related. It could be a war. It could be any sort of a tragic incident. So I call it bumpy, muddy waters. There's nothing you can do about it. The only thing we have done and will continue doing, because it is a must, whenever you have a tragic incident or a war in a country, we never, ever leave the country. Because we have so many people on the ground, we just want to make sure they're safe, they're taken care of, they have access to hospital, and we have the hotel remaining open because they need us the most in times of tragedy. And of course, the hotel is needed for the media and the coverage of the world. So consistency, coherent, look after your people. But at the end, it's one of those industries where not only it's being blessed, and we haven't talked about AI, a question was asked before, keep the human relationship. We are a warm industry, very different from the GAFA of the world. I don't want you to have a headset. I want you to talk to me. I don't want you to open your hotel doorknob with your iPhone.
It's a
Can I please say
face-to-face
hello
industry,
and how are
yeah.
you?
Yeah.
No, it's a very basic industry, but it's a warm industry. And this is the best place, probably the best medicine, if we can find against war, is understanding somebody else's culture, different colors of skin, and talk to him, and then you're going to appreciate differences.
I think that's very well said. I'm just going to end with this thought. I began by, remarking on your 11 years at the top. It's a cutthroat business, particularly being a CEO of a global corporate. We haven't met before, but I'm just thinking, having talked to you for 15 minutes, there's no way you're getting out of this business anytime soon. I mean,
I don't know. It's been 11 years. I had 3 lives before. I was in whatever stock market. I know I was an investor, and then I'm a manager. I wish I'm gonna have a 4th life. I don't know what it is. I don't
Really?
care. Yeah. I'm only passing. So my legacy is going to be my little footprint of Accor, but I'll do something else after.
I bet you will, and I bet we'll all hear about it.
Thank you so
Because
much.
it might be quite interesting to follow you. Thank you, Sébastien,
Thank
very
you.
much indeed. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much.